Yeah. Yeah.
I'll take the old woman with me. We'll have a good dance.
For the love of God! What have you been doing?
What's happening here? Oh my God. Philip and... they're all...
Yes. Where do you think the wounded ended up?
Actually, I had no idea.
Well, now you know. Me and Nicodemus have been trying to keep things under control since Skalitz was raised. Just the two of us.
So can I help at all?
Certainly. We can always use an extra pair of hands here. And it's been like that since the beginning.
I was in a bad way myself back then. They took me to Rattay unconscious, and I needed a healer. How's everyone holding up? What can I do?
Holding up? People here are dying, usually needlessly, and I can't do anything about it. We don't have enough food or space or anyone who's willing to help us.
All right, that's all I need to know.
Look, Henry, I know I can speak harshly, but I'm at the end of my tether. Last week, Bohuslav died. Maybe you knew him. And nobody even blinked an eye. We desperately need help.
I'll do whatever's in my power.
May the Lord watch over you.
Just as you ordered.
God watch over you. Good night. Especially in these dark times. Can I do something for you? God bless.
One ale, please.
Here, enjoy it. I've only got 2 hands.
So, what did Master Pfeiffer have to say?
I consulted him, and we definitely have a starting point.
Tell me more.
Master Pfeiffer found out they need copper sheets for the core of the coins, and quicksilver for the the other part?
I see. They have such materials at the monastery.
Exactly. That's why I'm interested in the local forges.
Yes, that is good. Yesterday, I heard people from the craftsman's yard by the monastery complaining. They said they could not sleep at night because the blacksmith works all the time till dawn.
I see. That's certainly worth asking about. Have you heard anything else?
You said they use quicksilver. There is a painter lodging here who is painting the church in Ujits. I heard him complain also. He said that he went to the monastery for quicksilver and it was all gone.
Well, that's something to follow up as well. Thanks.
Got it for you right here.
have some grub. Whatever's quick.
I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
I hear you've had some problems with the supply of quicksilver.
Problems? I should say so. For the third time this month they've told me they've none. There's no quicksilver to be had, they said.
And who exactly are you talking about? Who's holding back the goods on you?
The monastery overseer, or his assistant, more like.
So what did the overseer have to say to you?
Nothing. Apparently he doesn't deal in such trifles. Leaves it all to his assistant, the pompous git.
Surely such valuable material can't just vanish. Where can it be?
I wish I knew. Every time I ask for the red paint, there's a different reason why they haven't got the quicksilver to mix it. Once they said the goods never arrived, and another time that the wagon carrying it was ambushed. Then it went astray somewhere.
And you think they're lying?
Jesus, what do I know? But it seems pretty strange to me. 3 times in a row the same thing goes missing. There's bad luck and then there's something else.
That's all I need to know for now.
Ah. But wouldn't you care to buy something before you go? Or play a game? I really need some money. I've been waiting here a while and my stay's getting expensive.
Why not? Show me what you have to offer.
May the Lord watch over you.
Yeah.
Good day to you. What do you need?
I'm looking for some quicksilver. Would you have any on hand?
Talk to my assistant. He deals with such trivial matters.
Fine, thank you.
Farewell.
I'm honored that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
Do you have any quicksilver in stock?
Who's asking?
Nobody, I'm just asking.
Then I don't have any.
That sounds almost as if you don't want to sell it to me.
It's not that I don't want to, it's that I can't.
I see. You can't because you don't have any. And you don't have any because you're selling it out the back door, eh?
Suppose I was. I don't see what business it is of yours.
What if I told you I'm the emissary of the Royal Hetman Radzig Kobyla, and you've got yourself mixed up with a counterfeiting gang?
Counterfeiters? Meaning what?
Somewhere around here is a counterfeiter's workshop. They need the quicksilver to make fake groschen.
What have I got to do with the forger's shop? That means nothing to me. And as for you being the Lord's emissary, likely story.
If you say so.
God be with you.
Listen, about...
I've already...
Bollocks. Tell me this instant what you've done with the goods.
Nothing! And I'd advise you to calm down. We're on hallowed ground.
You're a fine one to speak of hallowed ground, a lying thief in monastic robes. What next? A whore dressed as a nun?
This is blasphemy!
I'll give you blasphemy. I'm sure you know what our Lord did to the money changers in the temple.
What do you mean? You're not going to hurt me, are you?
Tell me what's going on here and I won't have a reason to.
Jesus. But I didn't know anything about any counterfeiting.
For your sake, I hope that's true. Now tell me what's been going on.
I swear, I wouldn't normally do anything like that.
Get to the point.
They came for me at noon, directly to the office. The overseer was somewhere on his rounds. Some night, it was, without a crest, armed. He called himself Sir Jezek, and he had a lackey with him called Rapota, a scruffy fellow with a yellow cape. Always whistling he was. They told me they wanted all the quicksilver we order for the monastery. Of course, I told him that wouldn't be possible.
And then what? Did they threaten you?
Not at first. They tried to bribe me, and when I refused, they started threatening.
How did you hand it over to them?
I take it up the hill behind the monastery here. There's a big tree there with a small chapel underneath. Sometimes Rapota is there waiting for me. If not, I leave it there.
What did they threaten you with?
They said they know people in the monastery, that they'd have me thrown out and beaten for stealing.
And you had been stealing? I mean, before then?
You know how it is. I work my fingers to the bone and they pay me a pittance.
So they knew about you?
Yes, they knew my name, everything.
Very well. Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Yeah! Yeah!
Cop life sure ain't easy. Fuck.
Why are you just sitting around?
Why not? Admiring the view. People just do not appreciate a lovely view these days.
Does the name Rapita ring any bells for you?
Rapota, you say? Rapota. No, I can't hear any bells ringing at all.
Admiring the view, my arse. If you ever want to see another view again, I suggest you answer my question.
Ha! I've been more impressively threatened by my sister's baby.
Fuck you. Look, you little jester, I'm investigating a crime against the king on the direct orders of Sir Radzig. Are you really going to keep pretending you don't know anything?
Hang on! What's all this about a crime against the king? I'm just keeping an eye on things. When a wagon comes in, I make sure nobody robs it. I get a commission for that, that's it.
See? That didn't hurt a bit. Where's Rapita?
I don't know. He's been staying in town lately. He hardly ever shows up here. It seems he's keeping an eye on someone there. I don't know who.
Who comes to fetch them?
I don't know. Some people. They don't speak, just look mean. Take the goods and go.
Thanks. Hope the scenery keeps you entertained.
Why are you waking me? Go away.
Damn!
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
Do you work any copper here, Master Blacksmith?
Why'd you ask?
I'd want to commission you to make something.
Then you best go elsewhere. I never use copper.
That's not what I heard.
What?
I was told in town that you bought all the other blacksmith's copper.
I'm being made a fool of yet again, it seems. Anything else? I still have work to do.
What can you tell me about the Sasau blacksmiths?
Well, there's Mikesh. He's honest enough, and a fair hand at everyday things. And then there's Master Otter. He used to have talent, but now he's too old and too proud to admit it.
So back to that copper, Master Blacksmith.
What? I thought I told you I don't work with copper.
Aha.
Take care now.
Good health to you, sir.
Your father says you don't work any copper.
We don't.
I've heard differently around town. They say your father's bought up all the copper to be had.
Are you calling me a liar? Or my father? You're asking for it, boy.
You're right. It's nothing to me either way.
Right. So clear off.
I mean, beside the fact I'm here on behalf of the Royal Burgrave Sir Radzig Cobbler, investigating a grievous crime against the Crown.
What? What are you talking about?
I'd let you read my Bill of Authority, but I doubt you're educated enough to understand it.
I'm so sorry. I didn't realise. If I'd known, of course I wouldn't. I mean, you understand, don't you?
Stop prattling, for God's sake, and start telling me the truth. What's the story with the copper at your forge?
You're right. We do make copper sheets here at night.
So why all the secrecy about it?
Father forbade me to talk about it. I don't know why. I didn't ask.
Who buys those sheets from you?
I don't know. I've never set eyes on him. Father doesn't like to talk about it.
Your father has some serious explaining to do.
I'm so sorry. If I'd known who you were, I'd never have taken such liberties.
Never mind. You weren't to know who I am. You were just protecting your father's business interests like any good son.
Thank you. See you later.
So back to that copper, Master Blacksmith.
What? I thought I told you I don't work with copper.
Your son put it quite differently.
What's that? What are you blabbering on about?
Don't be angry with him. I didn't give him any choice.
All right. I suppose there's no point lying. We do make copy sheets here, and I wanted to keep it quiet.
Why?
Pays me good money, and the people I do it for. I wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of them.
Did they threaten you?
They didn't have to. Just by the look of them, I could say I needed to shut my mouth and do what they wanted.
And did they ever tell you who they were? Do you know where to find them?
I know a little. But show some understanding. There's nothing but trouble in it for me. I'll lose the work and be left looking over my shoulder for some thugs to come and burn down my house. Or worse.
If you lie down with dogs, you shouldn't complain about the fleas.
There's no need for threats. We can both benefit here. If I tell you everything I know, you can help me with a certain small matter. One that'll cover up for my loss of earnings.
Do you know what the penalty is for counterfeiting?
I never give it much thought.
Evidently, because the penalty for counterfeiting is burning at the stake, and I can personally guarantee that when you're standing on that pyre, you'll find a loss of earnings is the least of your concerns.
No, of course you're right. I shouldn't have. I'm sorry. It's just that I'm afraid of being left destitute.
So, out with it. What's been going on?
One evening I got a visit from this scruffy beggar calling himself Rapota. He had a yellow cape on and kept whistling to himself. There was a knight with him too, but he didn't give his name. They told me what I had to do, how much I'd get for it, and I had to keep my mouth shut.
And where can I find this Rapota? Or the knight?
I don't know exactly. But I've always left the wagon with the goods behind the monastery, on the hill there, next to a small chapel under a big tree.
Anything else?
No. I swear that's all I know.
Well, that'll do me for now.
Young man, about that matter I need help with. I'll gladly pay you.
First, tell me what's going on.
I recently tried to buy Master Armourer Otto Rabstein's business for my son Vitus, but that old fool wouldn't listen to reason. He said he couldn't understand his legacy being taken over by a clod like my Vitus. Despite the insult, I doubled my offer, but Master Otto still wouldn't budge.
And what is it you need from me?
I thought I'd show Otto that Vitus isn't such a dolt as he thinks, but for that I need someone experienced in combat.
Well, that doesn't sound so bad.
See you later.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
God bless you. What troubles you?
You look different, Master.
So as to fit in. I don't want it known that I'm in town.
Why?
I don't want to alarm our prey. Gossip spreads quickly, and if those scoundrels learn we're onto them, they'll flee.
That does make sense.
So what have you found out so far?
I found out where they get the copper sheets from.
Really? So tell me.
It's the smith on the monastery craftsman's yard. He supplies the counterfeiters.
Do you know how he gets the goods to them?
No. All I know is that someone called Rapota collected the goods.
Not much, but it's a start. At least it's not a common name. Listen, Henry. I had another thought on the way here. Those counterfeiters have to have a punch die to make the fake coins.
Yes, of course.
That's sophisticated work. And there's a man I know who works at the monastery yard, Master Engraver Jerome of Silesia.
You don't suppose that he's...
No, not that, God forbid. I know him well. He'd never do anything like that. But he runs an engraving workshop, so he might have heard something.
Very well, I'll ask him.
But ask with tact. I don't want him getting offended. And I prefer you not to mention me at all.
I'll try to think of something. I found out where they get their quicksilver from. You were right, it was the monastery.
It was the only logical explanation.
It changed hands on the hill behind the monastery.
Have you been there to have a look around?
I have, but I didn't find anything interesting.
And have you found out who's behind it?
Rapota, once again.
The same scoundrel.
That's all.
Farewell.
Yeah.
Good day to you.
The Lady of Talmberg sent me. She wants me to find out why the crown's been delayed.
Through no fault of ours, I can tell you that. We had a large stone ordered for mounting on the crown, a beautiful Moldavite from South Bohemia that we had cut and polished in Prague. But, well, in short, the good merchant, Martin Wieseck, who was supposed to bring it from Prague, got lost along the way. It's like the ground swallowed him up.
Well, Lady Stephanie won't be happy.
Look, we've got something else here we can replace the stone with, but I'm sure even you can see it's not worthy of a noble wedding, and definitely not worthy of our fine craftsmanship. Oh, if I only had someone who'd try to find the Moldavite.
Why don't you just ask me? Of course I'll try to find the stone. Just tell me where the fellow was seen last.
That fellow, as you call him, the esteemed merchant, Martin Wieseck, was last seen riding alongside the Sassau River, passing by the footbridge over the ford, to the west of here. Evidently, he never made it to Sassau town.
Well, I'll look for him, but he could be far over the mountains by now. Or under the ground.
Good luck to you.
How goes the work, Master?
Getting there, getting there. You need something, my boy?
What are you doing here, anyway?
You're in an engraver's shop, my boy. We're engraving, of course.
Yeah, but engraving what? And what's it used for?
Oh, we engrave wood and stone as well as metal. Here in the monastery, it's mostly about decoration.
You've got quite a large workshop, Master. You don't do all the work alone, surely?
I'm usually here with my apprentice, Florian. Of course, by simple observation, you'll note that this is not currently the case, and I'm here alone, which means that either I'm a liar or something out of the ordinary has occurred.
I see. I think. So what's happened to Florian?
He shares the fate of the pharaohs for today. The fifth scourge of Egypt did smite him, the plague, or so his message advised me.
Jesus Christ, the plague?
Do remain calm. I'm quite certain the plague from which Florian is suffering wasn't a judgment from on high, or if it was a judgment on excessive drinking. I'm told such an ailment can be of truly biblical proportions.
What's he like, your apprentice, Florian?
I'm afraid that his exuberant youth has taken its toll. He's been acting strangely of late. I fear he has delusions of persecution.
I don't really know what you mean, at all.
Recently, for example, he told me that someone was following him. And the very next day he bought a padlock from the blacksmith and locked up his chest, as though I would ever sneak into it. In any case, why the interest? Are you looking for him?
Something like that.
May I ask why?
I have a message for him.
A message? Who would be interested in that wastrel? Other than his furious and deeply disappointed master, of course. About your question, you'll find him at home, no doubt feverishly dying. He sleeps in the baker's cellar.
Ah, thank you. Does Florian have any enemies?
A man such as he certainly owes money at every turn, and the parents of local girls are undoubtedly displeased with his attempts to propagate. However, most recently it was that fury from the baths who accosted him in quite a spectacular rage.
A woman from the baths? What did she do?
The harpy nearly tore all Florian's hair out. I don't frequently feel sorry for my ne'er-do-well apprentice, but on that occasion I made an exception.
Do you have any idea why she did it?
She was screaming about some girl, some flighty bath-maid, Esther. I would say that Florian had felt the joys of spring and acted accordingly, although one would have thought they'd be used to that sort of thing at the bathhouse.
Thank you. I'll leave you to your work.
May the Lord watch over you.